Coming to you live from the rinks in Hauppauge, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brownigan joined alongside my cameraman, Mr. Frank Potato. Smithtown Hauppauge versus KPC. Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue against the JV squad for the Knights. Matchup between a team currently in the playoffs versus a team on the outside looking in, as I take a look at the standings to set the stage tonight. As of right now, with a record of 5-6, KPC are in the final playoff spot, but a win tonight will put them into the 7th spot, leapfrogging Connecticut Sayville, who are 5-7, have played one more game than KPC, who are 5-6, and Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue, not quite out of it, but if they lose again tonight with just 4 points on the year, 2 wins, 9 losses, the math just gets harder and harder. And it's not often you see a Smithtown Hauppauge team not make the playoffs, so you never want to count them out. These two teams met prior in the year back on September 22nd, I believe. Yes, September 22nd. It was a 5-0 shutout victory for KPC, a hat trick in that game for Matthew DeFeo, and a 2-goal night for Matthew Smith. So big game for the Matthews. Kevin Schwartz with 2 helpers in that one as well, and getting the shutout between the pipes in the game. Actually doesn't say. Well, let's find out. We can find out. Was goaltender Grayson Ebley for KPC. As we look towards tonight, and some key players to keep an eye on. KPC, though, worth noting, have lost 4 consecutive games, 6-4 to Sachem, 5-4 to St. A. JV Black, who are near the top, if not the top of the standings, 8-3 to Longwood, and 7-3 to the brother team of the Smithtown Hauppauge JV Blue team. That would be Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red. Their last win coming all the way back over a month ago on November the 5th. So looking to buck that trend are the Knights. Smithtown Hauppauge, meanwhile, a big 12-2 win against Ward Melville. However, they dropped their next 2 games after that. 4-2 to West Islip, 6-2 to East Islip for heading into this matchup tonight. And it appears they will be without their leading goal scorer, Jake Hayes, who unfortunately went awkwardly into the boards a couple of games ago. I believe it was in that big win. So Hayes, injured in that game, will not be in the lineup tonight. And it's been a tough loss for this Bulls team that had struggled to put the puck in the back of the net. I mentioned they shut out in that first matchup. On the KPC side of things, in terms of their leading scorers, obviously Matthew DeFeo had a hat trick in their last time out. Definitely a player to watch for as we are underway here in this one. And it's Bamonte thrusting the puck into the zone. Cross-ice feed off the boards and taken by Jarrett, who dumps in for the Bulls. Grayson Ebley will get the start again here tonight against Lucas Fusco. Smithtown Hauppauge mirrors a break and a chance, and getting a piece with a blocker was Fusco on the opportunity there for Cohen Gikas, as Bamonte puts the puck in behind the Bulls netminder. Lucas Fusco. Jarrett banks around, picking it up on the far point, and holding in is KPC, and a long shot taken by Sattler. Eventually controlled and cleared by Rao of Smithtown Hauppauge. Kevin Schwartz. Mentioned he leads the way in terms of assists for this KPC squad. Schwartz into the near corner, and a puck falls down from the netting. It was trapped up in the netting, and can't really play with two pucks on the ice now, can you?
That's a problem.
It's really funny when the officials don't notice, and it's sort of like behind the play, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute.
Something's going on.
Something fishy, yeah. Face off to the left of Fusco, one back by KPC, and Coyle sends it down the boards. On goal, Fusco with the save. Unable to clear Benstock. Here's DeFeo. Knocked off the puck. Smith in the far boards. Playing it to DeFeo in his feet. Gets it to his stick. Runs out of time in behind the Bulls net, but we'll get it right back from Smith. Matthew Smith. Looking for somewhere to go with the puck. Good job by the Bulls keeping KPC to the outside at this point, as they try to time it just right for DeFeo. However, they just miss, and Ferraro clears it out for Smithtown Hauppauge. KPC trying to go right back in. Here's Finn Howard. Howard, good pass out of the zone, banked ahead to Kozak. Kozak ran into Waterman, and Waterman backhands to center. Ripped back in by Ventura. KPC right back, though, with Matthew Smith. Takes it in behind on the backhand, low to high. Pass to Schwartz. Schwartz somehow able to keep it in the zone. DeFeo circles. DeFeo, nice move. DeFeo to the backhand and across. They score. What a gorgeous goal on the beautiful setup from DeFeo. Watch again, DeFeo, one man misses. Another draws the next defender, and on a tee. And getting the goal, I believe that was backdoor Matthew Smith, it was. So the two KPC players who combined for all 5 of their goals in the last meeting against Smithtown Hauppauge combine on that one. It's 1-0. Before Smithtown Hauppauge can even generate a shot on goal. There's a shot on goal, and another chance save made, that time off the stick of Jarrett. However, the Bulls' offensive zone possession short-lived as KPC quick to clear it out. D-to-D pass here to Schwartz. Kevin Schwartz dicing his way through center. Schwartz to the backhand. Schwartz slid it just wide. Now Ryan Light lifts it to the right wing side. Too far for Jawarby. And KPC regroup in their own end with the 1-0 lead. Trying to extend it, but a good defensive play. And now Light trying to escape the zone, but Zikas caught him from behind. Cohen Zikas with Kozak forechecking, generates the turnover to Light. Light lost a handle of it. Campese can't quite hold in, and back come KPC. Good step up, though, by Rao. Generates the turnover. Rao to Light. In come the Bulls. Light takes the shot in the high slot over the net. And another net front feed denied. That time by Ebley backdoor, and then getting across with the left pad was Grayson Ebley. Bamonte now the other way. Backhand sauce found its way to Schwartz. Schwartz, Kevin takes it in behind, tries to center Bamonte, but Light got in the way of it. Little less than 5 minutes gone by here in the first period. Smithtown Hauppauge have iced the puck. Face-off coming back down into their defensive end. So if we look past Jake Hayes as the leading scorer or goal scorer for Smithtown Hauppauge, Matthew Benstock, and one less game played than Hayes, does have 7 on the year and leading Smithtown Hauppauge Blue in terms of points with 11. We'll be relying on him. Bulls also without their big defenseman, Sean Prisgent, as here is Benstock. One-on-one up ice. Benstock trying to take it to the outside and getting shoved down. That'll be either a cross-checking or roughing call going against KPC. The defender that shoved down Benstock that time was Cicilla. No, pardon. It was not Cicilla. It was Coyle. It's Michael Coyle going to the box. Bulls get the first power play of the game and a chance to bring it to within even. Howard across to Pajak. Gavin Pajak runs out of time, turns it over, speeding up ice. DeFeo one-on-one with Howard. DeFeo, nice move, scores! Short-handed goal for Matthew DeFeo. As he gets around Finn Howard and it gets through Fusco. Shorty makes it 2-0 KPC. Not how you wanted the power play to go if you're Smithtown Hauppauge. Ferraro aggressive on the forecheck, trying to get one back. Digs it free to Benstock. Nice move, Benstock. Benstock takes it behind the net. Comes out the near side. Benstock. Cross point to Finn Howard. Howard shot wide. I believe it was redirected in front. Gavin Pajak holding strong at the near point. Allows Benstock to walk down the left wing side. Try to backhand out in front. It's loose in front. Save made. They jam away and it just goes wide. Howard holds in. Pajak calls. Howard shot off a couple of sticks. Still loose in the slot. And chipped ahead to Jikas. And Jikas can walk down that left wing side. Drops to Matthew Smith. Smith, wrister, fought off by Fusco with 50 seconds to go on the power play for Smithtown Hauppauge. Pajak knocks it down. Banks ahead. Muller is there, and Muller looked to fling it back in. It was deflected, and the Bulls take it back. Finn Howard into open space. Shot along the ice, deflected. And another save made by Grayson Ebley. 25 seconds left on the power play. Kevin Schwartz for KPC. Wraparound try, save, rebound, and a poke check from Fusco. Comes in handy. Prevents Smith from potentially getting another tally. Now stretch pass ahead to Jarrett, connects. Jarrett, 2-on-1, gets it across. Shot denied by Ebley.
Nice try.
So 2 good passes for Smithtown Hauppauge as they exit the zone. There's 1 second left on the power play. And just unable to settle that puck down soon enough before Ebley was there. Was Campese. So 1 second left on the power play, and we're back to even. 0 for 1 Smithtown Hauppauge, and they allow the short-handed goal early in that power play. Back come KPC in a delayed offsides, and by that I mean delayed whistle to signify the offside. .7:27 left here in period number 1. It's Matthew DeFeo unassisted and Matthew Smith from Matthew DeFeo. So once again the Matthews powering the offense as DeFeo's shot turned aside by Fusco. Here is DeFeo trying to feed Watchinger. And it was taken away by Benstock. Benstock got it around Waterman, but Waterman quick to strip Benstock of the puck. Pajak takes it from his goaltender in behind, sends it up the far boards Or it's taken by Schwartz. Schwartz dangles around Kozak. In comes Schwartz. Gets around Rao. Schwartz backhands it to the front of the net. And getting a stick on it that time was Fusco. Schwartz in behind. Shot wide. Taken by Sattler. Taken away. And that shot denied by Fusco. Off the stick of Watchinger. Here is Watchinger. Wrister deflected. Save Fusco. As that went off a friendly stick in front. I believe it was Rao. And a difficult save made by Fusco off the redirect. Keeps the Bulls within 2. And this is one of 2 Smithtown Hauppauge varsity JV junior varsity teams this year. They had one last year. And that one team had a long run into the playoffs. Ultimately, it was ESM that won their first ever championship at any level in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. It was a JV championship win for ESM at the hands of Smithtown Hauppauge, as they rode their fantastic season into the sunset and do not have a JV team this year to possibly defend it. Ferraro can't muster a shot through. Jarrett holds in, regrouping his Muller. Howard steps up on Cicilla, keeps the play alive in the O-zone for Smithtown Hauppauge. Kevin Schwartz for Bamonte, try to return to Schwartz, and Jarrett punches it back into the night zone. Ventura threw one toward the front of the net, where it's taken away by KPC, who are quick to exit the zone. Cohen Zikas fell down, trying to take that shot. Backhands went out in front, nobody home. And now the Bulls can escape. Only as far as Bamonte, who puts an area pass onto the stick of Zikas. Cohen Zikas goes down. The hands up, I'm innocent, from Finn Howard. Play goes on. Guess it worked. Costanzo. And now Light escapes the zone, but good back check from Cicilla, knocks it from his stick, and now Schwartz had it, lost it. Good forecheck provided there by Ventura. Kevin Schwartz will peel off from behind his net, out in front. That puck deflects high into the sky, and down in front, our own Kevin Broderick. You'll hear his voice often here at the rinks in Hauppauge. Was getting some B-roll for a senior project. I was told he would be down in that area. Perhaps found himself the puck, maybe not. You can choose sides, as the 4 main play-by-play commentators have all partnered up with a member of the team in drafting 4 varsity teams to go head-to-head, I guess it would be, in the All-Star game this year. Of course, there will be a JV All-Star game to look forward to, in addition to a freshman All-Star team, which included some of the talented DVL players as well. That's all coming your way very shortly, as here's Matthew Smith from a tough angle. And I'm not sure if Fusco got a piece, but it flips up into the netting and out of play. 3:25 left here in the first. Well, 3:27 on the rink's clock. I'll throw 2 seconds onto mine. Again, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. We thank you for your viewership. Encourage you to subscribe. Our numbers keep climbing as we Slowly inch our way up to, I forget if it's 12 or 13K at this point. Great pass from in behind, and Coyle buries it. The hardest play for a goaltender to make is a pass from behind the goal line to in front. And KPC executes it beautifully. Watch Coyle march toward the front of that. Doesn't even get a lot on that shot, but doesn't need to. And it's 3-0 Knights. Coyle from DeFeo. DeFeo's third point of the contest. And they're looking for more. Smith. And a good stick lift provided by Rao. Rao knocks it ahead. Kozak can't clear. Smith backhands across. DeFeo left it for Costanzo. Save made. Rebound score. DeFeo's fourth point of the period gives the KPC, the Kings Park Commack Knights, a 4-0 lead as DeFeo now has 2 goals and 2 assists, all in this first period. Costanzo and Matthew Smith, who has multiple points as well, pick up the helpers. On the season now, DeFeo is up to 12 goals. That was his 12th. And 19 points in what is his 9th game played. 19 points, good enough to put him tied with Pozarina of Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red for 4th most in the JV division. His goal total, which is 12, is up there as well. Still a ways behind leading goal scorer in the JV division, Max Goldstein, the Southampton native, playing for Connecticut Sayville, has 21. Fusco sends around for Muller. It's on the stick of Pajak. Pajak to Campese. And Campese lost it to Sattler, who backhands it right off a member of the Bulls bench, and it appeared to be Finn Howard as getting the up-close look. Or cameraman Frank. Get a hand on it or off the noggin? Off the hand, off the glove, I should say. Rao backhands to Campese. Down the left wing side, Campese going to work on Coyle. Coyle takes it away. Campese can't quite feed the front of the net. Ferraro on the forecheck. Comes on back to Howard. Howard has it knocked from his stick, but it comes on to the stick of Rao. Rao sends it wide. Taken by Waterman. Waterman backhands. Final minute plus, so final 53. Ferraro walks, kick save made, rebound save made, Ebley. Couple of great saves to close out in the final 40 plus seconds here in the first from Grayson Ebley. First that kick save on Ferraro, then the rebound even better as Campese tried to clean up in front to give the Bulls their first goal of the game, but Ebley wasn't having it. Off the draw, Ferraro in front and controlled by Coyle. Coyle, good pass right onto the tape of Bamonte. Bamonte down the boards to DeFeo, who feeds the front of the net. Sicilla punched away by Rao. Back with Sicilla. Circles near circle. Try to backdoor play to Bamonte through his skates. And now Rao gets good position on Sicilla and backhands around. Kozak can't quite clear, now does, and Campese has Ferraro streaking, but could not lead Ferraro. As we come to an end of time in the first period, 4 goals and 4 points for Matthew DeFeo as KPC go up big early on Smithtown Hauppauge. 4-zip after 1. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. We'll be back for period number 2, only here on LI Sports Network. So first period in the books, and KPC lead by 4. We're set for the second period of action. Light will take the draw for Smithtown Hauppauge against Cohen Gikas, and Gikas will win it back to his defender Muller. Intercepted by Benstock. Light digs it free. In comes Ryan Light on the backhand. Muller shoves him down. That'll be a penalty against KPC. A great effort by Light to even get a shot on goal to Ebley there. In the process, draws the penalty, and the Bulls will go to their second power play of the game. Look to make an improvement off their first power play, which, while it did generate some chances in the latter stages, started with a shorthanded goal allowed. So here we go, right off the draw, chance save made, Ebley. So just 2 seconds tick off on the power play. We do it all over again to the left of Ebley, and another save made by Grayson Ebley. Costanzo sends around and launched out of the zone by KPC. On goal of Fusco. Stops it for Ventura. Ventura off the back of the cage to himself. Howard misfires a pass intended for Benstock, and right back in the zone it comes. Ventura knocked away by Matthew Smith as he tried to enter the zone. Schwartz goes around 2. Kevin Schwartz trying to go around Ventura. Schwartz this time around the net, and finally knocked away off his stick by Jarrett. Goes all the way down and becomes an icing on Smithtown Hauppauge. With nearly a minute of power play time killed off. Had those 2 shots in the first few seconds of the man advantage. Since then, have had trouble establishing the zone. Watching her to take the draw for the shorthanded KPC group against Ferraro. Ferraro able to get possession, gets around Waterman. 2-on-1 developing. Ferraro fans on the pass, gets it back, takes a shot, scores! How about that? From John Ferraro, and Smithtown Hauppauge get on the board on the power play. So pass doesn't work, takes the hint, I gotta shoot, does, and rips it top shelf. Nice in tight shot there of Ferraro by our cameraman Frank Potato. Banks down to Fusco. Fusco dangerously playing the puck away from his body. Ends up being a turnover. Bamonte's shot deflects off the stick of Rao and out of play. Here is Coyle. Far boards, Coyle. Shoved from behind by Ferraro. DeFeo comes through the defense, takes a shot, deflects high off the glass, stays in play. Rao banks one to the far corner for Ferraro, and now a whistle stops play. And might we have a penalty here? I believe we do. And it'll be on Smithtown Hauppauge with Gavin Pajak going to the box to sit for 2. So first power play of the game here for KPC. Pajak off for roughing. And Bulls just got their first goal of the game, now find themselves shorthanded in a must-kill situation, in my opinion. Taken out of the zone by DeFeo. He's got 4 points in the game. Kevin, who joins me to my left with the camera in hand. DeFeo to the backhand. Can't quite stub it home. Left pad save made Fusco. DeFeo still battling in the corner. Gets it out to Waterman. Waterman's wrist shot blockered away. Punched away, rather, by goaltender Fusco. But Arnold can't clear the zone. Had plenty of time to rip that puck down. And that's exactly what Matthew Benstock does here. On goal to Ebley. 45 gone by on the power play for KPC. Coyle. Rink wide pass, Banks to Bamonte, who backhands it to Schwartz at the far point. Schwartz down the far boards, intercepted and cleared by Light, only as far as the shin guards of Schwartz in the neutral zone. He tries to go around Benstock, but lost control of the puck. Here comes Light shorthanded with Benstock. Light unable to get around Coyle, but good penalty killing nonetheless here for Smithtown Hauppauge. Just 35 seconds left on the power play for KPC. DeFeo all the way across to Zikas. Spins as he accepts the pass, sends it back. Too hard for Schwartz. DeFeo, though, picks it up in behind. DeFeo walks out in front, try to go backdoor Zikas. Swing and a miss. Far point. Muller. Down the boards and across for Zikas. Plenty of time, Zikas. Blocker save made Fusco. 4 seconds left on the power play. Light has the puck. Light skates to the center. Hits Benstock. Benstock coming in as the power play expires. And KPC 0 for 1 tonight. Schwartz around Ventura, but left the puck behind him. And Jake Ventura controls in the far corner with 10:34 left here in period number 2. It's KPC by 3. Lone goal of the period belonging to Smithtown Hauppauge and John Ferraro. Not sure if I mentioned it, but Ferraro, that was his 3rd of the season. Here's Benstock, and Campese strolled into the zone ahead of the play offside. 10:08 left here in the middle frame. Ferraro goal was unassisted, at least officially, as Rao stepped in to take the draw. It was won by KPC. Smith to the far boards. Here's Cohen Zikas. Nice move, creates space. Down the right wing side goes Zikas. Backhands one in front. Cleared out from the slot area by Rao. As nice play here from Cole Kozak. Kozak trying to center one. Just fumbled the puck a bit. Try to hand it back to Rao was Jarrett. Jarrett knocked down by Costanzo. Ventura back checking, broke up the play, but never got the loose puck. Shot blocked off the skate of Pajak. And now Pajak off the glass. Stepped up at the point by Waterman. Smith. A little give and go play with SCHSHL. Ends up on the stick of Ventura. Turns it right back over to KPC. SCHSHL with Smith calling for it. SCHSHL to Smith. Hit the stick of Pajak. Deflected wide. Cohen SCHSHL in behind, now out in front. Save, rebound, score! Matthew Smith crashing the net, depositing the puck into the back of it. Off a feed from out behind in front, which we saw create a goal earlier for KPC. They do it again here, except only this time off a rebound. Fusco making the initial save. No chance on the second effort. And Matthew Smith has his second tonight. Michael Coyle picks up another assist along with Cohen SCHSHL. And so it's a three-point night for Matthew Smith as Ferraro comes in with light to Ferraro, batted away by the stick of Ebley. Watching her. Lead Schwartz. Nice move, draws a penalty, and nearly put it in the back of the net as well. It is a goal. It was a goal, wow. And because of the delayed reaction, I missed the full extent of the replay and what is one of the best goals I have seen this year. Hopefully we get the extended clip in the processing, because that goal deserves some recognition from Kevin Schwartz. Draws the penalty, stays with it, and buries it from down on his knees. Incredible from Kevin Schwartz. His third goal of the season is nothing short of a highlight reel. Matthew Smith, by the way, up to 9 on the year. As here is Schwartz for more. Save made, Fusco. Miscommunication along the near boards allows KPC to get right back on it. Watching her, a cross shot save made off the stick of Sattler. DeFeo. Schwartz. He's feeling it tonight. Backhand shot. And it's somewhere underneath Fusco. Throw a couple of seconds back on the clock here. 7:32 left in the middle period. 2 straight goals for KPC. Matthew Smith and Kevin Schwartz have given KPC back their once had 4-goal lead and now extended it to the biggest lead of the night they've had, which is 5. Backhanded out of the zone. And down for icing against Smithtown Hauppauge. So face off to the right of Fusco. Comes out of the zone. Waterman hits the red line. Dumps in cross corner. Cicilla on the forecheck with SCHSHL. SCHSHL. Lost the handle. Comes out in front. Benstock to Ventura. Ventura caught from behind by Coyle. Giveaway, Jarrett, and kicking out the left pad to make the stop. Oh, it's Grayson Ebley. KPC's varsity team will be in action immediately following the conclusion of this game right here on the North Rink, of course, after an ice resurfacing from the Zamboni. They're in against Middle Country. And what has the makings to be an entertaining game. KPC will want to get the win against the team lower in the standings, but not to be counted out. Middle Country certainly have some good efforts in the standings. Here's Jarrett, shot. And that catches the stick of Waterman and deflects out of play on a good look in front from Luke Jarrett. Jarrett has been snake bitten this year. No goals or points thus far in the campaign. Trying to give him a little announcer's jinx. I don't know, does it work if you point it out? As Costanzo over skates, sends it back to Muller. Muller absorbs a hit, gets it to DeFeo. Schwartz has it poked from his stick, back with now DeFeo. DeFeo with a diving Howard. Seam pass right on the tape of DeFeo. DeFeo around Howard. Smith back to DeFeo. DeFeo, the front of the net, save made Fusco. And Finn Howard off the glass. And a Kozak and out. But unable to fully transition to defense to offense. Now a chance to do so with the neutral zone turnover. Here comes Ferraro. Ferraro unable to get through DeFeo, who powers his way out of the zone and now avoids a stick check from Pajak. DeFeo being monitored by Finn Howard in the near corner. Gets it to Schwartz. Plenty of space for Schwartz. His shot goes wide. Back out in front. And collecting the loose puck and covering up is Smithtown Hauppauge goaltender Lucas Fusco. Getting the night off tonight, Evan Miller. And Evan Miller has also been very impressive this season, despite what some statistics will show, or his win-loss record. But he's been great for the Bulls. Smithtown Hauppauge JV blue team as they ice the puck yet again here. It is only they and St. Anthony that have separated their JV teams into two separate teams. The Friars, of course, perennial in their hockey program, as can be described Smithtown Hauppauge. Perennial contenders, that is. JV black, JV gold, occupying 2 of the 4 top spots in the JV division. In second place, Smithtown Hauppauge JV red. And in terms of the varsity standings, there's a turnover and a chance. Just missed. Waterman sends it through the slot area. Coyle picking it up far corner. Coyle forced back, and now Jarrett. Campese takes off. Jarrett backhanding it in the direction of Campese. He meets Waterman to the puck. Watching her trying to take it away. Following up Jarrett. Jarrett pulls, shot blocked in the skates of Watchinger. And now Arnold. A little backhand across to Light. Ryan Light spinning out of trouble. Makes his way up ice into the zone. Light battling Watchinger. Knocked down by Watchinger. And the loose puck squirts free to Sattler. Sattler into the zone. Sent it in behind Fusco. Pass intercepted by Ryan Light. Lead pass Kozak. Sattler there as well as Jarrett. Two of them fight for the puck. And it's in the back of the net. They score. Another goal in which generates a late reaction because nobody saw it go in. But it's in. It's 6-2. And it's going to find its way underneath the pads of Ebley and into the back of the net. I'm not quite sure even who got credit with the goal there. Officially, it'll be Luke Jarrett. So how about that for some announcers jinx working in reverse as right back down ice. KPC goal and the save made. So Jarrett gets his first of the season. Shortly after I say how snake bitten he's been. Not taking credit, but anyway, Muller swings around. Bamonte try to lead. DeFeo has been all over the place tonight. In a good way, of course. DeFeo in behind. And the puck comes out of the zone. Here's Ferraro with speed. John Ferraro shot. Blocker save. Put it into that blocker side corner in which he scored on earlier in the game. This time Ebley gets the best of him. In the far corner, Benstog, nice play. Trying to get space on Schwartz. Backhand pass deflected by Schwartz. Into the near corner where it's sent ahead to DeFeo. DeFeo rejected from zone entry by Finn Howard. Kevin Schwartz back with it. He'll dangle in. He'll dangle to the backhand. He'll take a shot. A save made by Fusco. Ferraro to Benstock. He's in. Benstock with Sadler coming back. Takes him down. Ferraro the loose puck. Shot it wide. Rebound over the net. And now, I didn't hear a whistle, but surely we got one with everyone on the ice. Stop skating. It's usually an indication that the whistle is blown, and I just haven't heard it. Penalty shot. No penalty shot. I really thought there was going to be a penalty shot there. I said it without looking up from the screen. There is no penalty shot. It is just a power play for Smithtown Hauppauge. Well, that obviously cued you in on what I felt should have been called there. Instead, it is just a regular power play. Backhand shot from Juarby goes high and wide. And now a hit from Juarby. Keeps the puck in the zone, at least for the moment. Waterman backhands up the near boards, comes to Arnold at the point. And now Pajak. Deflection save made with Light in front. Pajak loads up, fires. Glove save made by Ebley, and he'll hang on to it. With 52 seconds left to go here in the second period. Both Smithtown Hauppauge goals coming here in the second, looking for a third. One of them scored on the power play. Trying to make it 2. As that puck ripped down ice all the way down, stopped by Fusco in behind his net. Pajak's pass turned over, not on the same page with his winger Jarrett, who has the most recent goal for Smithtown Hauppauge. Pajak with 25 to play in the period and a minute left on the power play. Taken away by Waterman. And Waterman content to just send it right back in deep. 11 seconds to go in the frame. It's Arnold. Left wing side. Arnold entered. Time winding down. Now puck in the corner, and the Bulls will run out of time here in the second. They do score 2. Most recently, Luke Jarrett, his first of the season. And a goal to start the period from John Ferraro, his third. But in between those goals, Kevin Schwartz, an absolute highlight reel dazzler. And Matthew Smith on a rebound out in front from Coyle and Gikas. Keep KPC ahead by 4 going into the third. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brownigan, our cameraman, Frank Potato. We'll be back for the final period of action in just a moment. Stay with us here on LI Sports Network. All right, third period on its way. Bulls trailing by 4 as they were at the start of the second period. They're on the power play here to start the third. They scored already on the power play here tonight, trying to make it 2. A good play there from Finn Howard, but he slips and falls down. Watching her, took it away, sent it back to Coyle, who will dump it cross corner. And just 15 seconds remain on the power play. That carried over from the second for Smithtown Hauppauge. Ferraro's pass ends up, or part that's Ventura's pass, ends up down for an icing. Ventura confused, thought it hit the skate of one of his wingers before it went down ice. Officials disagree. There's 7 seconds left on the power play for Smithtown Hauppauge on the penalty to Jackson Muller for tripping, which I thought was going to be called a penalty shot, foolishly so. Or perhaps I was just hoping for the most exciting play in hockey. Anyway, here's DeFeo taking it away. DeFeo to the net. Save made Fusco. And Coyle unable to get there in time to keep it in, so it bangs to center. Kevin Schwartz. Down the left wing side, around 2 Bulls. Schwartz around another. Schwartz. Save made Fusco. Takes a bump from Kozak. Turnover right out in front. Watching her. Denied by Fusco. And then the stick of Fusco making another save. Coyle, far point. Wrist shot. Just wide. And Campese will skate it out of the zone. Taken right back away by DeFeo. 4 points tonight. 2 goals, 2 assists. Sends across, where it's taken away by Benstock. Benstock gets knocked down, no call. Here's Campese. Campese in behind, out in front. Benstock following it up to the front of the net, also denied by Ebley. I'm always impressed, Kevin, who's to my left, by the level of goaltending depth across all these teams, all these levels here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. It seems just about every team has a really good goaltender, at least one. Nodding in agreement is Mr. Broderick. Currently working on his senior capstone project, I believe, correct? Yeah. That's the signal of yes. Okay. Anyway, Jarrett lost it to Zikas, who plays it back to his defense. The penalty has expired. KPC in the zone by virtue of Coyle. Down the near half wall. Pajak able to get it ahead to Light. Light spring Jarrett forward, 2-on-1. Jarrett to Benstock. Benstock to the backhand. Save made Ebley. Back with Jarrett. And now Benstock. Benstock circle, deflection, juggled, save, rebound, and another save made by Ebley. Got it with the blocker. And Pajak unable to hold in the zone following the flurry of chances for Smithtown Hauppauge. Rao trying to go forward with it. too far ahead for Light, and here comes Cohen Zikas. And that goes right off the shoulder of Zikas and out of play. Cameraman Frank all over it. As the parent, friend, fan in attendance will deposit the puck right back onto the ice. Neatly into the skates of the official. No. Oh, is that real? Get out of here. Did that just happen? An hour ago. Wow. DeFeo wide of the net. Oh, I have breaking news for all of you hockey fans that didn't know this happened because you've been tuned in, or I'm assuming you've been tuned in if you're listening now, or maybe you're listening on the replay. Here's Coyle, and you know this happened already, but oh my goodness. Blockbuster trade in the NHL as swing and a miss for Costanzo. Here's Juarby. Juarby, good pass. Ferraro save, rebound. Kozak, how did it not go in? Take another look at that one as Coyle the other way for KPC to DeFeo. DeFeo to the backhand save made. Fusco, delayed penalty will be against Smithtown Hauppauge. Wrist shot, banks to Costanzo, unless they score, of course. And a blocker save made by Fusco. We get the stoppage. To the power play go KPC. But to the playoffs goes Minnesota, question mark. They have traded for Quinn Hughes. And they gave up what, Kevin? So Liam Algren, a top prospect. Zeev Buim, a very top defensive prospect. And a first? That's it. And Marco Rossi. That is a huge... So they're basically unloading their entire prospect and young players who are breaking into the league doing well, Minnesota, to the Canucks. It's hard to win a trade when you trade arguably the top 2 or 3 defensemen in the league in Quinn Hughes, but Vancouver might have done it. It's tough, though. It's tough. Tough unless you do something like Colorado did with that 3-team trade. When they traded... who was that? That was Duchesne who they traded. Anyway, back to the action here. Forgive me if you don't care about the ongoings of the NHL. Smithtown Hauppauge fans are incensed with the current play on the ice, and they were united in their displeasure for the official there and what transpired. Anyway, here's Benstock. We play on. And there's a penalty going against KPC. It'll end their power play with exactly a minute left on it. So watching her off as he got the hook in on Matthew Benstock. And so a 4-on-4 for about a minute, exactly a minute. Bearing any other penalties. Kevin Schwartz. Knocked away by Ventura. So how about Billy Guerin? Goes out and acquires Quinn Hughes. Here's a shot and a save made. Cohen Zikas the chance. Fusco the save. Not to put you on the spot, Kevin. And obviously Quinn Hughes, a different level of player than probably anyone will see here at the rinks in Hauppauge, but varsity level. Who is the Quinn Hughes in the Suffolk County Ice Hockey League? I'm talking varsity only. If you're able to give me a JV name, more props to you. Kevin asks for a minute. I have an idea. As Here is Bamonte. Shot wide. Arnold, 13 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Can't quite clear. Campese on the follow-up. Does get the puck away and sauced across to Jarrett. I like it. I like that choice. So Kevin going with Declan Monkwitz of Middle Country. We will see Declan Monkwitz in a game from now for Middle Country as they take on KPC. So Kevin, not sure if you teed that up for me on purpose, but it certainly worked out. It's not bad. Declan Monkwitz, a good choice indeed, the Dix Hill Hawk. Ebley gets a stick on it, places it into the corner. The power play for Smithtown Hauppauge begins now. Has just 38 seconds left on it. There's only a minute in length due to the nature of when the penalty was drawn. Now all the way down to 28 seconds. And counting, loading up, firing. Smith missed it high and wide. Coyle in no hurry. Throws it across, deflected up ice. Rao to get it, Bamonte forechecking. And we'll go all the way down ice to become an icing against Smithtown Hauppauge with 3 seconds left to go on their abbreviated power play. So Frank, I don't know if you heard, Quinn Hughes traded to Minnesota. Quinn, who will certainly be representing Team USA at the Olympics. As exciting times for hockey are in store for us as we finally get the NHL at the Olympics. That's if Italy can get its you-know-what together, because that arena should have been ready months ago. Out in front, opportunity KPC. Here's Schwartz. Schwartz to DeFeo. DeFeo in the spin cycle. DeFeo works it around. Try to go back door, was blocked in front. Kevin Schwartz with it now. Splitting between two defenders. And now out of the zone. Do they have enough gas to have the odd man rush? No, and Muller gets over. Putting an end to any thoughts of an odd man rush for Smithtown Hauppauge. As the puck goes on edge, looking like a wheel going down ice. Banks in behind, Cecilia. To the far point of Schwartz. Perhaps a little lazy with it. It's a turnover. Here's Benstock, and unable to get that puck from his skates to his stick. And now Pajak couldn't quite get a handle on it. Goes to Schwartz. Schwartz trying to get around Pajak. Does. Brings it around on the backhand. Does Kevin Schwartz. Pajak. Now Gikas. Cohen Gikas. His pass read by Ferraro, who took it away. Ferraro trying to quickly go north with it. Got it to Campese, but Campese flipped to the line, not out. Good play to keep in by Benstock. Benstock trying to track back to the puck. And ends up on the stick of Schwartz. With 5:30 left here in the third period, KPC lead by 4, 6-2. DeFeo. Out in front, Cecilia, shot wouldn't go. Light plunges ahead right onto the stick of Waterman. And Cohen Gigas settles things down once more for KPC. Coming up on the schedule for these two teams, KPC have a meeting with Northport Huntington, who, despite their standing, should not be overlooked. And Smithtown have been involved in a bunch of close games. There's a chance, a save made by Fusco. Smithtown Hauppauge coming up next for them, JV Blue. They have a meeting with St. Anthony in a week from today. JV Gold team, that is. Gold team in 4th place as opposed to the black and first, as Ebley getting a little dangerous with the puck there. Crisis averted. And that goes right off the back of the leg of Light. Nevertheless, KPC dump in. Fusco out to stop it. 4:06 left here. Forgive me, that power play has been killed off a little while ago. Taken away by Jarrett. Jarrett putting the Jets on. Jarrett circle scores! Second of the game for Luke Jarrett. Safe to say the monkey is certainly off his back. Feeling confident. Letting her rip from the top of the far circle. And the Bulls trail by 3 on Jarrett's second of the game and season. DeFeo for KPC, trying to extinguish any momentum for Smithtown Hauppauge, but Rao took it away. Rao to Ferraro. Ferraro, nice move. Ferraro, save made, Ebley. On a great move to the front of the net from John Ferraro. Ferraro, the other goal scorer in the game for Smithtown Hauppauge. He scored his 3rd earlier tonight. Jarrett waiting for teammates to touch up. Far circle, Jarrett into the corner, met by Smith. Matthew Smith and Jarrett, as well as Benstock and Muller, all battling for the loose puck. Jarrett comes away with it. Jarrett stuffing try fails, calling for it at the point. Rao, he was wide open, but unable to get it to him, and now the puck out of the zone. Carried in by Matthew Smith. Smith to DeFeo. DeFeo to Costanzo, wide with the shot. And the Bulls running out of time, just 2:36 left here in the 3rd. Jarrett drags. Jarrett has his stick knocked out of his hands. And now whistle and potential penalty here on KPC, I think it is. Oh boy. And so Costanzo to the box. Bulls back to the power play. Chance to pull within 2. Puck cleared down ice. Ventura and Coyle. And now Pajak to it. Pajak fires ahead. Right onto the stick of Light. Ryan Light caught from behind by Zikas. Spins it into the neutral ice. Bulls must touch up, and that delay allows KPC to take it away. Bamonte. Long wrister. Glove save made by Fusco. Ventura eventually finds his way to Campese. Now for Light, who carries into the zone. Ryan Light met by 2 Knights. Take the puck off his stick. Light trying to get it back and avoiding the pressure and sending it all the way down ice. A nice play made by the Knights defenseman, that being Michael Coyle. Zikas goes down from Ventura, but here's Belmonte, and Belmonte's shot, a right pad save made by Fusco. Light knocks it down out of midair. Zikas gets it back only for a moment. Ventura carries up ice. Onside play. Ventura to Kozak. Shot save made by Ebley. It was well positioned to cut down the angle on the far circle. So a minute left here in regulation time. 32 seconds left on the power play. Draw one by and controlled by KPC. Kevin Schwartz just seamlessly weaving in and out of players, takes a shot. Save made by Fusco. And Schwartz try to go 5-hole. To the line, not out. Held in. And now Rao gets to the loose puck. Rao, slap shot, save made. Rebound available. Kozak shot wide. Again, coming up after the conclusion of this game, KPC varsity going up against Middle Country. KPC ice the puck. KPC JV set to improve to 6-6 on the year, while the Bulls, Smithtown JV Blue Squad, will drop to 2-10. As the Bulls definitely put up a bigger fight than they did in their first matchup with KPC, dropping now in 5-0. This will be a 6-3 victory for the Knights of KPC. As I mentioned, they go to 6-6, while the Bulls drop to 2-10. Bulls with a meeting against St. Anthony JV Gold after this one, and KPC with a meeting against Northport Huntington in about a week's time. Yes, a week's time in December 17th. And with that, that'll conclude our coverage here in this one. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. On behalf of our cameraman, Frank Potato, and some also breaking news being reported to my left by Kevin Broderick, I'm Ryan Brownigan saying so long. And until next time, as always, ladies and gentlemen, please have a good night.